Oh my
hero
God.
of the moment.
Wouldn't you just love to have him as
Yeah.
president?
Yeah.
He's wonderful. All right, we need a motion to sign warrants.
So moved.
I'll
Any
second.
help with the clerk?
No, I'll do it.
You do it?
It's a little bit up, a little bit down.
Second,
I did.
all in favor?
And I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes from March 7th, as written.
And we want March 2nd and 7th vote.
27th,
Both of them, right?
yes. Second and seventh.
Yeah, I
Were you
wasn't
at
here
both?
on
I'll
the
second
seventh.
them. I was at both of them.
I was.
Okay, all in favor? Thank you. No old business apparently. The only old business I can bring up is that I believe we're going to have to hold a public hearing for that moratorium because the representative met with a bunch of lobstermen the other day and they want to know more about it. So
She met yesterday, there
So
was,
they're meeting
with
together?
a bunch of lobstermen, so that everybody,
Yes.
all the sides need to be able to
Good.
come
there were
together.
7 people
Good.
yesterday.
Well, that's still 7 fishermen, so I
Well,
think
and
the only
it's
way to
true.
be fair is that we just put it as a public hearing.
I disagree.
Well, do we need a vote, that we have enough interest that the lobstermen wanna come talk to selectmen, but I think at this point we just need to have a public hearing.
With who present? Like, bring this
Eddie?
woman back again? Is that like what you're thinking, or like?
Well,
She's called me 3 times.
Okay, but I'm still like, what are we like
Well,
trying to
I-
inform the people of at the public hearing? What, you know, like, what do we?
So I guess she'd have to come back and explain.
I can tell you Danny Fitzsimmons was one of the 7 there yesterday, and he was not impressed.
Well, 6 people were apparently, but she told me anyway that 6 people that were, so I don't know what.
So they've
I
already
don't know if
had,
you need both sides need to be, I think both sides need to be represented, if at all. And the other thing I think we should do is it should go right, if in fact it needs a public hearing, it should go straight into that special town meeting and be done with it, either yes, no, and give the town a right to vote on
So
it.
I guess my question is, are we as a board considering doing this moratorium? Because my understanding of it is, we don't have the meat to do it, we don't get to do the leasing anyhow. So my question is, I don't even know if we should do anything, to be perfectly honest, I don't know if we.
Well, I tried to tell her that.
I agree
said
100%
I
with you.
tried to say that I didn't feel as though we had the support to even put it on,
the question is, do we have an independent moderator, an ombudsman who could moderate
Well, 'cause I
between the
think
So
two
maybe,
factions?
can we,
I'm not willing as a board member to sit here and jeopardize 100 high-paying jobs here in Lubec. And that's what we have, and I'm
Can
not
we-
willing to do it as.
would we consider asking perhaps either the harbor committee or the shellfish committee to host this discussion?
the harbor board already passed it to us.
Well, you said it the best, it has no teeth, it's not worth anything.
Well, I think, it boils down to, because as much as the townspeople may think we should do a moratorium, it's, it's the select board that initiates and does that, and if, I don't, from what I understood and learned,
Well, that's true. They'd have to get a
the state,
petition passed to put it
correct,
on.
you know what I
on-
mean,
on
that
the
I
internet.
think that,
She knows
God
about
bless
that
her if she wants to try to do that, but I don't know that we need to facilitate the
So
public
maybe,
meeting for her.
maybe then,
Let
knows
let
about
her
the
do it.
petition.
so why don't we have a vote now to whether we would vote up or down to put it on in
She
front of
asked
the
if there
public,
was a vote.
otherwise she has there's a second way to get it in a town meeting.
I mean,
7% of the last gubernatorial election
I don't know
vote.
that she would get that, but I mean, she could
Well,
try and get, right.
that
We're
wouldn't
stirring.
be up, that wouldn't be up to us.
we're
No, it
starting
wouldn't.
a gigantic turd, is what we're doing.
I
You
beg
heard
your
from
pardon.
You heard from the fishermen.
What did you
They
say?
were here, we heard from them, and I'll make a motion right now that we do not put it on.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Could I suggest, is there a possibility of getting a third impartial party to moderate this? And not have to bring it in to all of us to do this? Just have them work it out together peacefully.
And again, I ask you the question, what would be the motivation of the meeting? What are we bringing people together for to accomplish with the townspeople? Why are we having a
I
No,
think
hear
the
what I
side that
said.
was against it, and
Maybe just the two factions come together with a moderator.
No, don't
And
need
they
us for
should,
that.
excuse
So
me,
an information
work-
meeting.
yeah, and they work it out
It's the
together.
same thing,
It's
it's
like,
a public hearing.
It's kinda not, because
No.
we wouldn't organize it, I don't think we should organize
Oh, I
No,
see.
I know.
You know, I don't think
I
we should
think
organize
the
it.
I made a
town,
motion anyway.
I think the town nor the select committee are ready to go into this.
Okay,
Get
so
them
let's make
working
a
it out
motion on the
separately
floor.
and then bring it in.
So we have a motion and a second, so we'll have a, all in favor?
I'm not putting it on there, for
Of
that.
not putting it,
I think you're right, let her come up with an informational
You
meeting.
betcha.
Let them go for it.
do
You
they
don't need
have
to
any
involve.
professional mediators who settle these differences?
Well, that's up to her.
Well, I don't
Oh,
know that
That's
it's,
why?
I
Are
don't
you
know that it's
kidding?
a difference, it's a quest to get a reaction from Augusta around this piece, but I don't know that towns making moratoriums on ordinances that they don't have any sight over is the way to get the attention of Augusta,
I-
perhaps some other
well,
way.
I absolutely agree
I
with you.
agree, and I think that we actually, they cleared my question by saying that if a new application came before
They
the
have to
town,
come.
they would come to
Yep.
us, and at that time, we could worry
Let
about
them
it.
gather the signatures.
Right,
And here's where I
Right.
stand on this. I've been here a year or two, and I'm gonna tell you, every time somebody's come to help us, it has cost us
It's been-
nothing but jobs. I mean, big time.
right.
It's
Right.
all through history.
Well,
Renee,
in this
yeah.
town.
could you find out from MMA or whatever, if they have any professional moderators who hire out to do things like
Isn't
that?
that what Renee does? No.
Yes.
That's just us, she
Renee,
deals
I
with.
think she moderates pretty much
Oh, I
every day,
agree.
does she not?
That's just us.
She just doesn't have that certificate yet.
Yeah.
But we can make her one.
She should have one.
Right, she
Yes,
should.
she is.
All right.
Renee
let's bring-
Kissinger.
So open broadband proposals. Yes,
Let me
Ooh, do we
read
have
the,
some?
you want me to read the proposal just to refresh
Sure,
your memory?
great.
This is what's been out. The select board is requesting proposals for a fiber network to be planned and constructed along public ways in all areas of the town of Lubec. The firm will secure all necessary permits and permissions for construction. Proposals should include estimates for all costs related to the project. The firm would operate the town on behalf of the town of Lubec, yet the town would own the network. Proposal deadline, blah, 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 the rest is this.
so we would be responsible for repairs and all of that?
It's a public-private.
I say we
The
call it.
idea in the Economic Council, the development meetings was, in the proposal is that the towns own them.
Yes.
And therefore, yes, the building would be the town's responsibility,
Yes.
but recognizing that towns can't do that, that's why it's out there for somebody else to.
All right, here's the
I
first
say we
one.
call him on.
Who's it?
Trail runner.
In
And,
your packets, there is a spreadsheet if you wanna follow along for notes.
and it's just a, informational sheet on, I don't believe that additional rebuild, it just says who they are, broadband in your community, and it's a letter, should I read the letter? It doesn't have, it's not a bid.
Hmm,
Yes,
they did.
Go
So pass it on down and we'll take a little,
Go to the next one, right?
yeah.
Yeah, it's just for your information.
No amount.
No, no.
All right, let's see what's in there. And can you actually read that proposal one more time?
Yes, I
I
can.
wanna, I don't think I caught it all. I should have it memorized.
Requesting proposals for a fiber network to be planned and constructed along public ways in all areas of the town of Lubec. The firm will secure all necessary permits and permissions for construction. Proposals should include estimates for all costs related to the project. The firm would operate the network on behalf of the town of Lubec, yet the town would own the network. Proposal deadline today, 4 p.m.
And of course, you should probably explain, Rachel, that you're going to a grant for this, right? It's-
We are definitely going for grants. That comes in the form of the ARPA money. It would be part of that. And they're releasing new monies at the federal level. So we're trying to get as much money from them as possible. We also have a new person on our committee, Ben Levesque, who is going to be looking for other grants as well. So our idea is to have the town own it. And the way it works is that if you were going to get, broadband, is that each person who would agree to have it in their house would probably have a rise of about, I think they said $50 per month for the total. And with that $50 per month, it will pay down any loan that we might need to incur. But that's all hypothetical, okay?
Well, this bid here is from Axiom, and the total construction cost is $4,590,300. And, let me see if I can get a that, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you have a calculator? Well, we should get one. Just make sure that these figures actually total up for 1,590.
Carol, can I ask a question?
Yes, of course.
The $50 per month that you're citing, would that simply be to bring the cable in, or would that include an internet connection?
It would include the connection to get a house, a home running,
That's the subscription,
yes.
that's the monthly subscription.
Much
that's
the
just
same
what
as
you would
you
pay.
pay now.
Instead of what you're
Yes.
paying to Spectrum or
Yes,
whatever?
yes, it would be a little extra. And
Is
in
all of that
return, with that, you could also pay off your loan if you we needed a loan. So that's the public-private
I think that's extra, and I don't know what
part.
that means.
So I guess my biggest question is,
I don't,
does this hinge on grant money?
Yeah, I just said that.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying the
Yeah.
4.5
It
million.
may hinge on a bond
Right.
from the bank.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's out there. What we don't know is the ARPA money.
But it's
That's-
not taxpayer money as of now.
No, no.
I just want,
All this,
You know-
as far as getting a bond, we may be, bonded out right now.
We may be.
We may be borrowed.
I don't know that this would be like, a momentary action, go ahead, it's not, I see where
this amount is the total for construction, but these amounts are cost savings. So the project cost to model is $1,688,663.
Well, because they're looking at reduction by, pole
663.
replacements, construction cost contingency, state funding. You might wanna look at this. If I were you, I would table this whole thing in review.
I was just
There's
gonna
two
make
of
that
them,
motion.
that's complicated.
Yep, I think, yeah.
And
Okay.
this
And
one,
Mike, well,
making
that
that a
has-
motion,
this
David?
one
Yes.
here is
I'll second that motion.
4,782,000, and it's very close
Yeah.
to the other one, so you need
Who
somebody.
do you want to review it?
I think
I
the
think
committee,
economic development or
Yeah.
you guys?
the,
Economic
I think
development.
Okay.
yeah.
Actually, I think both.
We're practically the same.
So
We
the other
are.
one, the other one, as far as I can tell, is 4,782,668 construction. But they may have the cost savings broken down separately, and this is something
Yeah, see.
I'm not gonna review right now.
Oh,
That's
this,
in the-
this is a guess.
So do you wanna put a workshop before your next select board meeting at 5
Go ahead.
Oh, I don't
for
want to
both
interrupt you,
committees?
but did Fairpoint respond to your
Nope.
RFP?
Now we have
And the
Surtex.
reason I say that, I moved to this community last year, and out on Lead Mine Road, where there was no high-speed fiber optic network. And I found that one of my options was Fairpoint. And I complained to them about, they were just gonna give me DSL. And they said, well, don't worry about it, in 2 years, we're putting fiber optic throughout entire Lubec. And that's what Fairpoint told me.
Yeah, let me
So we
say something
probably
to you
need
that
to
my
find
father
that
used
out.
to say to me. Talk is cheap.
They've been saying that for years.
Okay, well,
It's like the car
well, I
wash in
didn't know what
Natalia.
the,
Yeah.
but they,
I need a motion to table it, she seconded it.
Yeah, and
All in
we'll
favor?
go into committee.
And so I think
Not today.
trying to organize some kind of,
So let's do a workshop,
Yep.
maybe at 4 o'clock before the next select board meeting on April, whatever it is,
When are we switching those back?
April 15th.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Back to 6, back to
I
6
don't care.
o'clock.
I don't know
Yeah.
about it.
The next
I just don't,
meeting
I
is the
don't want the
13th.
town to be obligated on to borrow anything.
No.
No.
We
No,
would-
we would not
It
go
would
back.
have-
no, and the other piece, like, none of this can happen without, you know.
Town approval.
A town
Right.
approval and a town meeting, and
Yes.
it really was, in the economic development discussion, because throughout the state of Maine, as well as Washington County, as well as Lubec, you know, for high speed, truly upload and download at a speed of 100, which is now what ARPA requires you be working towards if you're using that money, not that you have to get it, you have to be working towards it.
We only have $100,000
Right,
in our.
But there's gonna be
right?
other ARPA money out of the
Not-
federal broadband,
Okay,
but
Okay.
But the thing
April
being that,
13th.
it'll come down to at some point, after a second involved party is, we'll have to have town meetings, people have to make a decision if they're willing to make the commitment to get involved in this, and then we watch from there. Yeah.
Can't do it
I'm not gonna
without
be here.
town.
No,
Okay.
So
No
why
April
don't we just
13th.
do with the following?
so,
In all
Oh, that's
honesty,
the
I
other
should
one.
let everybody know that I very much would like to, and have from the beginning,
Oh,
like to
sorry.
include the
March 30th.
unorganized territories. Trescott and Edmonds. And they do not have any way of getting this. They're just not gonna have it. And as I understand, the feds think kindly on people who like to include more people. So that's why we're doing it. And yesterday I happened to be talking to Betsy Fitzgerald, who is our county commissioner, county
Manager.
manager.
yeah.
And she said, absolutely do it, yeah, you go for because you are more likely to get the money. And she said, but she said, the ARPA money goes to the county, and they so far have not decided to give it to the unorganized territories. But she knows that I want to include them, so.
One of the ideas is not so much a loan, but it's to be designing for a line of credit.
Yes,
And then the users would be paying the line of credit. But if that all failed, for whatever
Yeah.
reason, the town would be on.
then
What
we're on the
about
hook for it.
And you better have a pre-commitment for people who are gonna sign up.
Right, and that was totally the conversations with, I forget the gentleman's name from the Callis established broadband system that, you know, they're running with the second town, as well as the Axiom folks. It was actually, and the gentleman from the Canadian lines, they were all in a Zoom and to listen to minds of people that actually know what they're
Yes.
talking about broadband, and it was like the potential is
Huge.
really there,
Mhm.
you know, and then the optimism came around, the idea that, you know, there is supposed to be federal release of that, and there really is a big push, even in Augusta, they're talking about, there are so many places, not just, you know, on South Lubec Road or little, like throughout Washington County, throughout York County, throughout every county that you just don't have broadband, and that's a big goal to make it
Well,
happen,
it's-
because so many people can't work from home
It's
now.
very important for
Absolutely.
cottage industries, but $50 per household with 1,300 people here?
Has anybody
I mean,
spoken
and a
to
$5
White?
million cost you
Oh,
guys
no,
have to
abso-
pay
absolutely.
for? I mean, it's like another sewer issue.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, and there's,
Oh,
and, yeah,
God.
Yeah.
I stand corrected, the next meeting is March 30th, we have 3 this month, one of those special months.
Oh, goody.
So, we could do the workshop that way,
Yes.
all right,
Let's
March
do it then.
30th at 4?
at 4.
Is that what we're saying?
With select board and economic development.
And we have budget.
Budget should be done
Budget's
by
over.
then.
by next week.
God, I'm so sorry I missed that budget meeting yesterday.
Yeah, we have
Okay,
third
fine.
parties
It's
next week.
gone
Want you to
really
know
well.
that.
I'll put that on the town calendar.
Yeah, great, and yeah.
Because workshops are public.
Absolutely,
Yes, that would be good.
that would be good.
Okay. Oh, this, bandstand
So, yeah,
repair, we
this
didn't
is a
get any
workshop.
bids.
Workshop prior to the meeting.
Okay, but it's not a
Discuss-
public hearing.
No.
No.
No,
just a
so look at those
workshop.
bids and really understand what the options are there.
So there were no bids for the bandstand repair.
Ah.
That's unfortunate.
That is heartbreaking. I'm sorry.
Well,
And you
there's
know,
so,
I've been
there's so much
asking-
construction, you just, nobody has any time.
I must have
Right.
asked 20 contractors that I know to bid on it, and they all said the same thing.
So,
Too much
They're
work.
just so busy.
at what point does the town
Take it
sell
down
it?
or do whatever.
I don't think we should sell it. I
Who
don't.
wants to
It's
buy
part, it's a public,
I can't stay with yellow tape wrapped around it all summer.
no. And I am wondering whether we could, you know, there are towns down below us that have these bandstands. Perhaps we should talk to them as to what they do, because it's almost like some of them have the big plastic look-like wood things that they lift up and move away in the summer.
They have beautiful ones right there in
Yes.
Ellsworth, I keep driving by.
Yes.
It's right- I mean, it's
It
not
doesn't
the
need a lot
old
of
fashioned, but
work.
it's with particle,
There is
Part of
another
the
option.
It doesn't
Yeah.
need a ton of
pressure
work.
treated wood, which
Yeah.
wouldn't rot.
The other option is lamps came to me about wondering, because they want to expand their events to possibly having 2
They wanna
different,
fix it?
possibly, they've been fixing the stage. It might not be to the specs that we have typed out on an RFP, but as long as we can get the platform safe,
To use that platform, all you need to do
James carrying beam.
is put a carrying beam in it. And it's
Well,
not
then
that big of a
maybe
job.
we should,
So
that's a
that's
great
another
idea.
option.
I mean, a motion that we do that, that we, give it, over to Lamps to have in trade for use. I mean, we own that, right? So they could,
Buy the supplies?
I know the Masons in the past have done a lot of work
well,
to it.
they have, but, well, we're not gonna take away from the
And
Masons, but
Lamps
working along with the
together.
Masons
It
and
might
Lamps.
behoove us to go to some of these wood places and see if, tell them, this is what we're doing. Could you lower your price on wood? Could you
Well,
do
that's what
something?
Lamps
See,
is.
now that's pressure treated from
Yeah.
underneath.
That's what
and
you
the
need,
deck
pressure
is-
treated.
And the deck is cedar.
Is it the money or is it the labor?
Both, it's both.
Lack of bids.
I think, and I would say some of the labor, the rationale they have is the money it's gonna cost. I mean, all the bids that have come in, what
We had a
there
bid
are.
that was like
Oh, yeah,
$20,000,
way
something
high.
crazy, like you
Yeah.
could buy a whole new one
And
and
that's
deliver
before
it,
the prices went up.
in my
Yeah,
opinion.
that was
People
a
trying
long
to
time
milk
ago.
it.
Well, sure.
Because I
Yeah.
know there's some, like myself included, will fundraise if there's not enough money.
Oh, it's not the money.
So it's not money. It's
And
just
that's the other
it's
thing.
Time and.
Contractors, you
This
can't get
people were out of
contractors.
Bangor, but it's, now the contractors just don't have time.
Mhm.
But it would be great to have fundraisers, because maybe if Lance is willing to do it, that we could help offer them, give them some money, you know, so it would just be for them, labor.
Lamp.
You just can't hire.
Well,
Have
anybody,
Lance do it,
you know.
well, we,
And
well,
pay
we
that and buy the material.
And we can make up the difference.
Well, that, they,
Whatever
yeah,
they
the
want.
tent,
Yeah.
you guys helped out with
Yeah.
some of the lamp cost on the stage, you know, and there is talk in lamps of redoing the
Platform.
platform at the stage, because
Yes.
Lamps did that last year, Ed was very involved in that. And they did, and we have talked about the bandstand.
and it
because-
came out well.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, great.
Yeah, absolutely. They
We
were-
always wondered whether we should have taken that stage.
They didn't go ahead.
No, no,
You know what,
absolutely,
in the
absolutely.
summer, after he works on LCOG
Yeah.
first, then he can work on the bench.
But I mean, I'd be willing to give them.
no, he has some home
advice and stuff.
obligations before either one of you.
So you want me to reach out to Kurt?
Yes.
or-
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
Well, no, you should reach out to Kurt, you know, because I'm not on the board
So you
anymore.
started to make a motion.
make a motion that we reach out to Lance to, see
We're
if we
talking
can
about
be a
fundraising.
partner with them
Sure.
to help with the money, and
What about the Masons?
The Masons reached out too,
Masons
said
too.
they would help again
Yes.
too. So
Because
Yeah.
they
Lance
use
and
that
Mason.
in the summer.
Lance
They
and
do.
Mason.
Yeah.
At
Do
their
I have a
meals,
second?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll second.
All in favor?
And again, that is not taxpayer money being used to rehab. That is not taxpayer money.
Well, it might be.
It
Yeah,
might be, we just said that
Proposal
we might have to
was-
help them.
I thought it was going through the revolving loan.
Hopefully. I mean, ultimately, you guys
Well, the
control
revolving
that
loan
too.
did offer to
But we
pay
want their
some, for
blessing.
some of it.
Because when we originally built that,
we
it was
meaning,
Hank and I.
Mhm.
They paid for the whole thing. They're brand new back then.
Hank who?
Simpkins.
Did you originally build the whole thing?
Yes, we tore the old one down.
Before
built the
my
new
time.
one.
Wow, so you know.
$2,800.
So we have some good news, we found some people that want to be in the planning board, I'm like very happy about it.
Yes.
It's exciting. Do we have names? Oh. Georgiana,
Gina,
Georgina.
oh, Georgina, sorry, Brown Delnicki.
And
And we
this-
have
Tina.
John Nielsen,
I asked them all to be here, so just go meet them.
How do you do?
yes, hi,
that's
John.
John Nielsen,
That's John
And then-
Wilson
okay.
One and only.
and Ann Jackson
And-
for associate member and Barbara Kelly.
Okay, so the first
Thank you,
two were
and
full
thank you,
members.
thank you.
You
And-
girls are the ones from Carrie Place Coke, right? Yes.
Oh, very good, thank you. Okay, so I make a motion, we accept these appointments. Do I have a
Second.
All in
Absolutely.
favor?
Hurry up, hurry up.
Yes, run, no, just kidding.
So, the next planning board meeting, Sharon just let me know today, is it's the second Tuesdays of the month. They have them at 3. So the next one is April 12th. Tomorrow, if you come in, we'll get you a planning board manual, and I've already got the
You have
ordinance
to get sworn
printed
in.
off, and we'll swear you in. So if we can do that tomorrow, or beyond, sometime this week, would be
The
great.
next 10
And that's 3 PM on the book.
Yes.
And then you can study it on the weekend, because they're gonna give you a test on it.
Is that the school?
Thank you
John?
so much. I'm
Yeah.
John, you must have bought Ed's old house. You must have
Yes,
bought-
yes, sir. Yep, we bought Ed's.
nice place.
Okay.
Nice,
Beautiful.
nice guy,
Yeah,
really
yeah.
Wilson.
Any other questions for our new planning board members?
It's
Oh,
very nice of you to all show up.
I would like
Appreciate
to,
it.
Sharon asked me to convey the importance of meeting attendance, and you have a big task ahead of you of updating the shoreline zoning ordinance and the shoreline
Comprehensive plan.
map. And, that's.
Comprehensive
not,
plan.
Yeah, no,
That's not all of them,
Mm-mm.
those are only committees.
that's just, Alex, yep, member.
Wait, wasn't it in that one?
Yeah, but the select board revisited it. Yes,
I think it was two from there,
yep, but,
two from the planning board, right?
yeah, we couldn't have it, so.
I used to be on the
I
plan.
mean,
Yeah,
we could have one more from the planning board on the comprehensive.
you got
plan.
9 right now.
We're good
Wow.
with the comprehensive plan
That's
at the
impressive.
moment.
Yeah.
We're meeting this Thursday
Yeah.
and
You'll see
everybody's
me
kind
shortly.
We've got Patricia Van Rollins that resigned from the planning board,
And
but
was
was willing to
Oh, so
stay
good,
on
so
the
the planning board's got
comprehensive.
enough to do with the shoreline
Absolutely.
zoning.
And
So
the
that's
comprehensive
better. They
plan
don't have to
committee
do all that.
is good.
No,
John,
that's much better.
John also is gonna join the Shellfish Conservation.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
next.
Oh, okay, that's next, I'm sorry.
Okay, do we have other?
That's another business, but you got, well, do you
Let's
wanna
just
do
do it
this
now.
now?
Might as
Okay.
well do it now.
So we have,
Just came in after I posted the agenda, but there's shellfish committee members that have been suggested that would like to join.
John Nelson,
That's him.
That's
Right here.
Danny Fitzsimmons, and Mike Scrivani. So I'll make a
On the-
motion that we appoint these to the Shellfish Committee.
Yes,
Second,
second.
all in favor? Well, that is great. Mike had a little time off, and now he's back. He's so good on the Shellfish Committee. I don't.
Yeah, I think it'd be good. They have requested and they are investigating, and I did say that we would help. They wanna get what they call overlay maps to do that thing that you and I talked about, although we brought them that map, they weren't really impressed.
No.
You know, so, I told them that if they found what they were looking for.
You mean
that we-
access for access?
Yeah, they wanna look at where, you know, where it's happening in town, and, you know, we've got one map, but it's really not what they're looking for, and they knew what they're, so, it's good, it's gonna be good.
So, Elodie, you're here to grace us with your presence.
Totally, yes,
Here on.
yes. So, I was gonna come last fall, and then I've been out on medical and I'm back. So basically, what I wanna do, is give you guys a little update of what we've been doing down at the lovely LCOC, the Community Outreach Center. What we've done last year, what we plan to do this year, and specifically talk about our community, needs assessment, which could tie a little bit into the, comprehensive plan that's happening. Renee and I talked about that, as well as some of the emergency response, well checks if there's an emergency issue, but I even printed it out in color. Have a little update. Hopefully there's no typos, I finished it up this morning in a hurry.
I'll get my red pen.
You should.
Thanks, Elodie.
Busy day, today, good pantry day.
Thank you.
And I have enough. So this year is our 10th year anniversary, so we're super excited. So we've developed, we were started in 2012, which is 10 years ago. We're gonna have a 10-year celebration and a volunteer appreciation day, hopefully sometime in June. We should nail that down. And we'd like everybody to come to attend, hopefully that'll happen. The year before last, obviously, was the first year of COVID, and that impacted the community center like it did every other organization and business pretty dramatically, especially with the increase in food pantry recipients and the decrease in volunteers and trying to get things moving forward. Last summer, though, last year, we weren't able to pull ourselves up out of that. We tentatively started some of the committees a little bit back up. We had some great adult enrichment workshops down at the community center. I didn't put it in here, which I thought about that after I printed it, but we had over 150 people attend those workshops. And a lot of, I would say, estimate, I would say at least 70-75% are people that never had stepped foot in through those doors before. So it really brought in a lot of people that may have the misconception that the community center is just a food pantry or just a place for people to go to get some social service or something like that. It's an actual community center where people can go and enjoy different things, as well as get some resources and support that they need. So that was really exciting. We intend to have those again this summer. Probably repeat a lot of them because people caught on and they were excited, but they didn't know about it. So word's getting out. In addition to some new workshops, but we also received some broadband funding. I wrote a little grant, and we have 6 computers down there, computer stations. We now have high-speed internet throughout the entire high school wing. You can get it from the outside, so it's free to everybody. We have, I brought a big TV so we can do presentations in the community room. We have a workshop room. It's not out yet, but we have an LCD projector. 2 of those, we have screens that come up and down. So we're getting ourselves set up so we can have conferences down there, we can have meetings, we can participate in Zoom. Organizations can use the facility, anybody can basically use it.
And summer rec?
Summer rec, yeah. So last year we didn't have summer rec because we couldn't find staff, which is unfortunate. This year we're pretty good to go, well, pending staff. We have one of the teachers, Margaret Casey, she's already caught, so she's agreed to be the director, the coordinator for the summer rec program this year.
Great.
Our current coordinator, Anna Williams, is, I'm excited for her, so I'll tell her her personal stuff. She's going to Europe for the summer and travel around, so she's, I know. So
She has to do my gardening.
well, she's not been doing it for a while. I probably should have told her personal stuff, but, so it's good for Anna, but we're happy for her.
Yes.
Right, we're happy for her, even though we don't want her to go. But Margaret said she would take it over, which is super exciting, and we have a couple of applications that are in. But we need 4 people. We will hire 2 teams, like we always do, as long as we have strong mentors and strong adults to
And
bring
you're
them
planning
in.
for 4, 6 weeks, how many weeks?
6 weeks program is what it's always been. The first week is training for staff, getting the program ready, getting all the supplies together, CPR, first aid, all that good stuff. And then the 6 weeks of programming. So we've been working with the school, been really positive. The school year's been really, really positive. A lot of good collaborations. We signed a 10-year lease, so that's good. We now have a 10-year lease on the high school wing. So now at this point, I'll swing back around to that in just 1 second. So I'll talk about the lease. We've gone through, we started our facilities committee up, which Ed is on. Because Ed's on all the to-do hard stuff. They've identified projects, one of them being, okay, we need new windows. The windows are horrible. We know we need, ceiling tiles. We stole ceiling tiles and put them up in other rooms from other rooms just to make it look better. So there's a bunch of different, the roof leaks, how are we gonna, things that are priorities and things that we'd like to do.
Are you responsible for the patching of the roof?
We spoke with, a couple weeks ago, I sat down with the superintendent and told them some of the concerns that we had, now that the MOU is signed. And the roof is, he's gonna bring in, because that's obviously a building structural thing.
Sure.
And there's roof issues on the other, it's not just it's not just the high school side, it's the other side too. At this point, one of the leaks is so bad that it depends on which way the wind blows, obviously, but
Yeah.
it comes down in the old home ec room and it literally just goes down the wall.
A
So it's-
Niagara Falls.
Yeah, it's causing a structural issue, it needs to be
Wow.
addressed. There's one in Gina's, sometimes it leaks in Gina's room, there's leaks, we know where the leaks
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
So it needs to be resealed or something, I
So
don't
the
know.
terms of agreement on the public, are they?
It should be, it's a school matter.
So, the terms of your agreement for your 10-year lease, I know that originally it was $1 a year.
Yeah, yeah. So now we pay a certain percentage of, based on the formula of the heating costs, because that was concern for people. Even though the high school has to be heated to at least 55 because of the system, we're paying a percentage of that beyond the 55. So there is, we do give 4,000 to 5,000 every year for heat, but now there's a formula so people can, so there's that. We always pay our own lights, we always pay our own internet, phone, things like that. Water, we pay for our own water. But as far as the structure of the building goes, the heat is now, we actually now have heat. We bought a part, got it put in, and we actually have heat now that they've done something to it. I don't know, it usually plays some kind of a
furnace?
The
No,
school
yeah,
did,
but
yes,
that
but
was-
not on our side.
Concentrated on the other side. It was-
They didn't put it, it did not, we have all the stuff on the high school and it's the old system.
Elodie, I know this is a little far-fetched, or maybe not, but have you considered solar panels on the roof?
At this point, for electric, yes, we always have dreamed about that. We can't separate heat, they're not willing to separate the heating
Oh.
system
Yeah,
because it's structurally, the building is one.
yeah.
We would love to see it be just completely
No kidding.
separated.
Yeah.
It's a flat roof, and I think we already had, did we have this?
We
Some
did.
people look at that, and it wasn't.
Wasn't viable.
No.
Sturdy enough, maybe?
Yes,
It wasn't
it was just,
possible.
wasn't gonna withhold the weight that, so I think.
Yeah. But as far as the heating goes, if it's like a part, because like, some of the rooms won't turn off at this point, it's pumping out heat 24/7. The volunteers can't work in certain rooms. One of them, unfortunately, two of them are the food pantry rooms. So it's pumping out heat nonstop, and then the coolers are compensating.
So it's too hot for them to work?
So now it's too hot.
You
In
went
the
to
food
community
pantry,
room.
well, maybe that's not good for
Yeah,
the food.
today
Yeah.
we're opening
Always,
the windows while the
always.
heat's on, because
Yeah.
they would cool it off.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It's cold.
Yeah.
There's
and then-
no zone, so it's not a zone heating.
No,
It's so
It's
antiquated.
It's so
antiquated.
antiquated.
Better word.
Yeah.
So, you just bring us an update.
And
on
yeah,
everything.
so I don't wanna get bogged down with that, because we could sit and talk about that stuff all day. But anyways, it's positive, it just makes it is positive. We've got our lease, we're working on how to work through the heating issues. We know now we can start looking at what do we want to do. The windows, how do we replace the windows, or at least fix them, you know, so we can now move forward, so we're super excited about that. We've got 4 new board members. Gosh, just past 3 weeks alone, we have 4 new volunteers. We're starting up our committees again. We have youth, finance, fundraising, which no one has grabbed onto yet. And we want to start up our senior wellness committee to look at what our senior program can look at and what the needs are of the community. The food pantry here has got some stats in there. In 2001, we had 301 people registered. 41 of those, 41% were seniors, 40% were adults, and 14 were adults with children. So, and 15% were children. So, even though we had 301 people registered, that doesn't necessarily mean they all came and got food every single month. That just was who was in the books. We did 240 deliveries. We reduced our deliveries down starting last year, and in the spring we kept reducing it. If people were able to come in, we kind of asked them to come in instead, because it puts a lot of strain on the volunteers to deliver and pack boxes. So we're down to about 15, 16 deliveries to 20 a month, and that's almost all to some of our community members who are homebound, who can't get out of their house or drive or whatever. Most of them are elderly, mostly. Let's see, we got 2 new coolers last year, so that's excellent. We now have all the infrastructure we need, mostly for freezers and coolers that will meet the capacity of what we have. So that's really exciting. And we started Furry Friends, the Furry Friends program, last December. So we've had it for a few months. It's just starting to get rolled out. If you're of a certain age and income, it's pretty flexible, the income level guidelines, which is good. You can sign up, and for $1 a month, you get a big bag of cat or dog food, some wet cat or dog food, a litter if you have a cat. So that's really helpful. We had, as of today, we had 18 people, 18 households sign up for that. And we had a few more sign up today, so it's just getting more and more.
Really come a long way.
We have the spay neuter clinic down there right now, yes,
Right.
so they came in, they're doing 40 animals tonight, 40 animals tomorrow, 40 animals tomorrow night, 40 animals Friday. Brian dropped off 3 feral cats from
Down
down,
from the town.
down Dorney, I got a
Really?
picture of that, yeah.
A friend of mine came from, Ellsworth and brought some.
Yeah, I said, really, so if that happens again, we're gonna be able to open that up and let them do that.
Tell them about all the collaborations, all the agencies that are utilizing this space. Healthy Acadia's in there.
Yeah,
The Medicare director guy, they've had a gentleman down that has been helping more residents than you can count at this stage, figure out Medicaid and Medicaid options for themselves. Healthy Acadia's in there every month with a food option for folks. There's some great collaborations
yeah, working
happening
with the kids, so she comes in and works with the kids with healthy foods and does a lot of taste testing and food demo.
Sarah?
Sarah?
No, Sarah doesn't do that anymore. It's a girl called, it's a woman, Ally Cook. She's a chef from right here. Oh, sorry, Abby. But, so she's way, she could be from Trescott.
No, wrong way.
From those unorganized territories.
Right. We got a lot of groups coming in. Family Futures Down East is coming in, and today the medical center was down there passing out COVID tests. There's just a lot of more and more organizations. Of course, we still have the Washington County Adult Education Program down there. Valerie is back in the classroom. She's starting to see people. We have the Washington County Literacy Program. Eileen's in there teaching adults how to read and write, or read and write better. We just started with the broadband program. We started offering digital trainings. I brought one of those up here. So everything from how to work email, Google Docs, it's in here, to how to use QuickBooks and Excel spreadsheets or WordPress.
Yeah.
So we have all kinds of digital literacy. I made the mistake of calling them digital literacy on the poster. I revamped it and I'm calling them computer classes because digital literacy intimidated, which I probably should have tuned into that, is that those words were intimidated people, I think, when it really
Listen,
suitably is.
we're doing broadband committees. Do you think we're not intimidated by all the vernacular?
Right,
I mean, we don't even know what the
It's a lot
heck it is.
of acronyms and
Yes,
buzzwords,
yes.
yeah.
I have no idea.
But what we're offering down there is everything from how do you turn your computer on
Yeah.
to how do you make, I don't know, websites. So there's a lot of good iPads, Chromebooks, so that's really cool. You guys check it out if you want to. But that's kind of like, oh, and we're starting the free lunches again, community lunch next month, and the women's club is gonna, so they're gonna cook for that one. So in April, we'll start those up again every month.
Great.
And then we're looking into restarting the veteran and senior breakfast once a month, because those are really well attended and people like that. We are participating with the A4TD program. I can't remember what the acronym is, but
That's
basically,
really hiring older people.
yeah, some drills and skills training. We have Patsy's working under that.
Yeah.
So she's done there, so she's able to help out the community center. We were able to train her on some, computer stuff, and so it's a really good collaboration there. But, so this year coincidentally, we were supposed to do it last year, it didn't happen. But this year is, we're implementing the strategic plan. So part of that process is gonna be a massive community assessment, a community needs assessment. So basically, who's in the community,
Excuse me.
what are your needs? What would you like to see happen down at the community center? What do you think a priority should be? What path should we take? And I can send you up a copy of, it's pretty much, it's going to print ASAP, so, we wanna get it out there. But part of that is demographics, and on the last sheet, it includes it's a tear off, so their, you know, their information would be with their name and number, but, it's a tear off. Would you like to be included in the let's say child check, but
Well-being.
well-being check, so if there was an emergency, so there's the emergency plan. But also in that is there's some envisioning questions, what would you like to see Lubec, the community center do, or be, which kind of does relate to, where would you like to see the community center? We're doing 4, focus groups, and those are open-ended questions, and a lot of that mostly is, where would you like to see the community head, what do you think the priorities are, which really would feed into the comprehensive plan that needs to be done, a lot of those questions. And when Renee and I was talking a while ago before I got sick, but I thought we could kind of work together for that, because we're already doing the work, right? We already got if you attend, you can be in a drawing for $500 of oil, or whatever it is, right, to lure people in. We've already got the Survey Monkey, because I got a little grant for it, so we can do, we're doing electronic as well as hard copy surveys. And I think this would be a good opportunity for town to be able to get additional information, develop your path as well as us sort of developing our path is where we need to head. And that is a long,
Very busy
You have
woman.
been busy,
Yeah.
yes.
Doing a great
what
Good
about
job,
crochet
Melody.
this winter?
Good job. And you're still raising bees, honey.
I'm not doing flowers this year, I don't have the stamina for it, but I'm raising my bees, so.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to start bees, I'll be doing queens in another couple months. My side
You
job.
better be
Thank you
careful.
so
Iris.
much, Elodie, you're doing a great job.
But I didn't know if you want to, should I talk to the planning commission? I'll send you over the
The comprehensive plan
next
committee.
steps, yeah.
Be good to
for-
coordinate, I'm sure there's questions
Yeah.
I
that
think
that
it's
would be
fine.
helpful. Put you
Yeah.
on there so you can, you
Well,
know.
the comprehensive plan committee is having its first meeting on Thursday, so I'll make a point of mentioning the LCLC stuff, and we'll see, we have to,
Okay, yeah.
it's our first meeting, so.
Yeah, I'm open, I am gonna send that, the hard copy questionnaire out probably in a week or so, since we get it through the printers. But the focus groups especially would be, I think, a really good,
Yeah, absolutely.
a really
Do
good
you have dates for that
opportunity.
yet, or?
No,
Okay.
no, I will though.
So you'll coordinate with
Yeah, I'll talk
Elodie
to,
to make sure that.
I'll talk to the
comprehensive
committee
plan-
and see what,
Yeah, what they wanna
which
do.
way we wanna go.
If you need any for the emergency stuff, just let me know.
No, I'll just keep a running record of who wants to do what and what their issue is, as far as with oxygen
Yes.
or bedridden and names and numbers, and
Give me the list.
hand it over.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
All right,
Thanks,
I'm gonna go
Ellie.
home, so I've had a long day, but you guys have a great
Thanks,
day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We don't have much fun.
Good to see you again, Elodie,
No photo.
and your health.
I'm getting there.
We're glad to see you back. So on other business, we have
No,
to,
this is just sewer abatements.
yeah, so we're gonna do a sewer abatement.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's not other business.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, sewer abatement. So we have, how many?
Two.
So we have 2 sewer abatements, and I'll just read them. One is for sewer account 417301, and it's an abatement for 2496. It was a billing error. And the same with sewer account number 204. It's not this long.
Yep.
It's been here a long time. For 1872, which is also a billing error. So I'll make a motion that we sign the sewer abatement
Yep.
forms. Got a
Second.
second? All in favor? Alright. So,
That's the
that
sewer
was the
commitment.
sewer
Yeah.
commitments and other business. So we just got, the sewer commitment just came in today, so Renee put it on the schedule. So that, I'll look at it is. So that is for the period of November 1st to January 31st in the amount of $41,482.50. Do I have a motion to accept that sewer commitment?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor? So we have other business, that was our other business. Administrators update, any updates?
I've been working quite heavily still on the Washington County shortage in EMS workforce. We've been having many meetings with the ambulance EMS service chiefs, with Betsy Fitzgerald, the county manager, Lisa Hanscom, the county EMA director. So things have been coming along quite nicely. So I just wanted to let you know that I do have periodically have the GIS meetings that I am going to. I've got another one Monday that's coming up at 2. So I'm very optimistic. Lubec has an extreme shortage of EMTs as well. So I just want to continue to support on that project.
Absolutely. You definitely have inside information. I mean,
I've
did
become the
this for like 10
spokesperson.
years.
Well, yeah,
Really,
you
so
have, you
you're
got
like the
street
guru.
creds.
I'm
So,
pulling all these, connections that I have with Lubec.
Yes.
I brought in
Yes.
Axiom,
Yes.
adult education to it. I'm bringing in the community college again. They're the ones that hold
try
the
to
education.
prospect
Yep.
to get people to.
So
So
it's kind
sure.
of lays with me.
The shortages of that.
You did have some trainees down
Yep.
down the way there.
Yep.
And so we're hoping for maybe a couple, two or
And-
three people that'll train.
and Lubec-
We could use this room, right?
Lubec has full-time, and this is something to tell the community. If you want a good job in Lubec with benefits, EMS is it. There's 3 full-time positions open right here in Lubec, with retirement options, with health benefits, dental, everything. It's a
And
good
what about
paying
training?
job.
Pays
You get
well and good
trained
training, Peter's
on
doing
the
it.
job. You can start out as a driver, like Peter.
Like Peter.
Well, that's not full-time. You gotta be at least an EMT to be full-time. But, there's gonna be another EMT class starting up in April. So
Good
it's
to
a
know.
good job.
It's a
Zoom,
needed service.
through Washington County Community College.
How you can run
It's a
it.
much needed service.
So, it is.
Absolutely.
And
Well, you do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
it's critical.
Yeah.
That is I
Critical
make a
tool.
motion that you prioritize that, really.
And look, there's a director right there.
There he is.
Is it, you know what I'm talking about?
What did I do now?
Just talking
You're
about the
being
I'm
EMT.
promoting.
You walked in at the wrong time.
Promoting EMS and that you've got
Oh.
full-time positions open in Lubec.
Yeah, we do. Anybody interested? We need to go, yes.
Yes,
Mhm.
it is job security. You will have a job in healthcare if you go into that field, no doubt.
Mhm.
So,
Guaranteed,
yes.
and for a long, long, long time.
Well, put our thinking caps on there. So,
So that's pretty much my big thing. Yesterday,
any committee updates?
Yeah,
Oh,
gave mine.
did you have
no,
anything
it's
else?
nothing. I'll save it for next time.
Okay, sure.
Well, I should say that our Economic Development Committee actually are participating in this Down East series of talks. And yesterday we took part in an all-day conference gathering at Cobscook Institute. And it really was it's interesting because Elodie should have been there, but she'll be there at the next one. How to improve your downtown area and things that this area could use. And it was organized by Sunrise County Council. And this absolutely entertaining man from Australia who seemed to tap into what's needed. And I think
It
I
was
had
for
a
the
very
whole,
good
whole
time.
Washington County, not just Lubec. It's for
Oh, it's the
Calais,
whole
Machias,
county, yeah.
it's the whole. I think
No,
it's
not
called
quite the
Wayne.
whole county.
Yeah,
It goes from Calais, Eastport,
Oh,
Lubec,
okay.
and Machias.
yeah.
Only the
Section.
option part.
Okay.
They, although, are working up to the north and across New Hampshire, Vermont, and New York with this program. So that even though that was not what we did yesterday, they are going there because there are multiple towns who need this stuff. So it was a good experience.
It's focusing on how those 4 communities can work together
Yeah,
to bring people to all 4, you know.
Yeah.
You know, if we don't have something in Lubec, people come here to look at a lighthouse or look at Campobello or whatever, get some seafood, and then we
Yeah.
can say, hey, go up to Calais and
Yeah.
check out what they have. You know, we collaborate with these 4 big communities in this end of the
Yeah.
county.
and a
It was
lot was
great.
touched on growth. I mean, where do you go from here?
Yeah. Go to Lubec for a whale watch.
Yeah.
That's right.
And how we can improve it, yeah.
But
Yeah,
go
it
to
was good.
Machias to eat some blueberry pie at Helen's.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah, it was a good experience. I look forward to the next one.
Yeah, me too.
Public comment, questions? announcements?
Crickets.
All right.
I broke my ankle.
And we know that, we feel very badly.
Yeah, I just get angry.
Well, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.